I will be there representing was, is. Creature of the night, don't mean to bring you fright. I'm a creature of the night, not the most pleasant of sight. If alone, gaze into the darkness, I will be there representing was, is,
Yeah, I don't hear any music.
Hello, hello.
There it goes, there it goes.
How's everyone going today? We are another week here, Creatures of the Night, and joined with Sasha. Her gaming name, Emo Bitch, is with us. Zach is still on travel, so he's not here with us right now. And but he said he'll probably chime in, so he might be in the chat later on, or joining us if he actually set up to be able to do that remotely. So anyway, so hopefully everyone had a good week. We are almost through the heat of the season here. It's still, I mean, you wouldn't think of it this week, and you wouldn't think of it today. I saw the temperature thing show up about 104 outside right now.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about how nasty it was when I had to go out there.
So, yeah, it's not great. But we had some thunder boomers pop up, and that usually is a good sign of a little bit of relief in general. So that's why the heat advisory, the extreme heat warning, is set to expire this evening here where we're located. So that would be good. But yeah, ever more desire fall to get here, or autumn, however you want to call it. But anyway, so Sasha, what's new with you over there?
I'm so totally unprepared. I know it's happening. I know it happens every week, but I never know what to say.
She's been a zombie this week, or more so today. She's been tired.
Yes, today was I've had a hard time actually waking up throughout the entire day, which, this is why I had to go out in the heat to get one of these. I had to brave the heat to go down to Dollar General, who was kind enough to actually have my grape ones. But no, let's see, this week, I gotta take this thing out. It doesn't do me any good right now. This weekend, I got to go and help on an Endeavors case.
Yeah, Paranormal Endeavors, my team, by the way.
Yes.
So real investigation.
Yep, so that was an interesting thing that is still being reviewed, which I get to help with the evidence review right now too, so it's actually giving me something to do during the day versus
binge watching
TV shows for no point.
Yeah, a little background on that. So I lead my team, Paranormal Endeavor, since 2010, and right now, other than myself, we have Zach does evidence analyst, officially on the roster, officially on the team as the evidence analyst. But with him traveling, it's kind of one of those things that's kind of useful to have somebody help out other than just me, because I have too much stuff going on. And the rest of my team, for the most part, with the exception of Zach, is back in Iowa. We don't have some kind of a server thing that they can join remotely to review evidence. Trust me, in the past we've tried evidence review with, like, everybody has their hands in the pot, but people lose it, doesn't get done, keeping track of who did what. It's just, so ever since, I would say probably the second, or late in the first chapter, or early in the second, so we're talking 2010, 2011, we had that change to where we had a strict like specific evidence analysts that would be tied to the duties. I like having about 3 of us right now, just 2, and well, almost a half of one technically, because Zach is traveling, so it's kind of hard. So it's one of those kind of things where it's like, well, it doesn't hurt. I mean, right now I kind of went through a brief crash course of what we look for with Sasha, and even though she's not officially on the team, she helped in production for the show.
I talked a little bit more than what production people are supposed to. Jackie was appreciative of it. That much I know.
Well, everybody on the team is appreciative to have a production person that does camera for. So those of us on the team can focus on the investigation. Those of us with abilities can focus on. Those of us with abilities can focus on what we need to do and not have to, because a lot of people on the team are not multitaskers. You know, so it's not one of those things where they're sensing something that might be going on or witnessing something that's going on, and the camera kind of goes down, and I have 10 minutes of floor, 10 minutes of a doorknob or something. You know, it's like, that's not good. I can't use that. So it's always great when we have production that helps. I mean, ideally, I mean, they can chime in and stuff. It's not like the first team I was in where they were not supposed to even be there, because they treated it very much like how Sci-Fi Ghost Hunters was, where the production people, unless they were scratched or thrown to the floor by some phantom force, they did not talk. We're not that strict. I know if it's a relevant thing, it would be nice to have the production people focused on the activity. But if the activity and the action is happening to them, by all means, yeah, they have to document their experience. That goes into our review also when it happens to them. They don't, whatever's at the location doesn't care if you're supposed to be behind the camera or in front of it. They don't care. So
yeah, and sensing things and whatnot and trying not to voice it is extremely difficult. Learned that one kind of the hard way, which is how I ended up talking more into it than what probably would have been. Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you're documented now on camera, of course, that just reminds me I have to sign a release form. So
okay.
I'll do that. So, but no, the evidence part of it, other than like helping on production, the other little kind of loophole that we have here, I don't try to advertise it too much, but it is evidence review. As long as, I mean, there's still a crash course in training for both. I didn't just hand her a camera and be like, okay, come along. No, she still had to know the angles. She watched all the chapters that are currently available right now on YouTube. Klein Studios Production.
I'm not watching them fully.
Klein Studios Production is the main channel on YouTube. That's the main channel where Paranormal Endeavors series are. It's all things strange, unique, unusual. That's my main channel. And then of course, I went over the buttons on a camera and the kind of angles and stuff that we do. Well, for evidence, it wasn't just like, here, watch this. No, still did I mean, maybe not as in-depth as evidence analysts who are officially on the team as evidence analysts, but I still went over the basic stuff, what we look for. More so visually trained right now. We have not done audio with her yet, which that'll probably be the next thing. But it helps. Otherwise, I'll be backlogged. And right now, we have a kind of a standard policy of trying to be within a 30 to 45 day review time of evidence to get back to the client, so we can do the reveal and tell them what we found out and all that. So right now, if she keeps up the pace with her help, we are ahead of schedule, which is always good because we technically still have some from the last case. But it was because that case was the 13th anniversary case for us, which was supposed to be, it was a for fun thing. So it was a kind of a recreational pay to attend one of those public places, you know, which we don't normally do. It was a treat because all of our workload is primarily private residentials. So we're helping families, trying to make a difference. The whole core of why we do this. Not thrill seeking and just paying to go to a haunted house, you know. So that one, there's no reveal to be done because there's no client necessarily that needs the help and wants to really see what we got, if that makes sense. So that one we've been more relaxed on, but we do still have half evidence on that one still to review. But this one is definitely one of priority cases, so we're like on it. So I don't see any bad or anything bad with having someone who's not officially on the team, but watching, stuff, because we did some review together before, took the training wheels off, and she spent yesterday and today watching video back. But it's not a DVR setup in terms of like 16 mini little screens on thing, because no, you would need more than 2 eyes to watch that.
Yeah.
It's one camera at a time, so she just has one screen, one thing to focus on.
And then, of course, it's if you think you see something, then you rewind it about 15 times to make sure you saw what you think you saw or heard what you thought you heard.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was 6 hours worth that I went through yesterday ended up being more like 8, just because of going back through certain things or rewinding to make sure that I was seeing it right, and then jotting down the time code so that he's able to go through it, double check, and see if I actually saw what I thought I saw, or if it's something that could be explained.
So I'd rather have her have an overabundance of notes to have me rewatch back and check her work. So that's the kind of thing on here. But definitely giving her credit where it's due, and that's very thankful. And the team is appreciative for her assistance in doing this, because a lot of teams out there, I know a few, sadly, that go into a place, they collect evidence, but they never get back to the client on it. They never follow through completely, and that's a big chunk of it. So anyway, very time-consuming duty. It's not for everyone, but it is necessary. So.
If I end up going back to work, which Monday I've got my appointment to find out if I can or not. From my understanding, I'll start back out going part-time, which means that I'll still have time around here to be doing that kind of stuff. At least up until I go back full-time, and even then, on my days off, they don't normally follow the same days as him, so.
I know normally Monday through Friday with my day job, my normie people job that I have to do.
Yeah.
But it's always appreciative of whatever can be done. We're heading into our busy season. So generally that on average past few years, it's September through December, early January. And this year right now, as it stands, we're not doing any public events. We did that last year where we did more than one. We did multiple public events, which again is a rare for the team to do. But we did a couple where we had a booth and people from the public could meet us and pick our brains a little bit, talk with us, and actually, that kind of thing. But this year, it doesn't seem like it's in the cards. Several reasons for it. I mean, personally, one thing is I'm not huge on public events, more so public investigations specifically. I do not like those. But public events we could do time to time, but those cost money. You got to rent a booth. You got to have the manpower that can commit to sometimes multiple days manning the booth, being there. And if it's a location that's far away from the people on my team that are watching the booth, then they have lodging, hotel costs, etc. And I could speak for a lot of us on the team, maybe not everybody, but I do know it's a little tighter this year. So not doing the public event aspect of it, but I'm going to focus on the cases for this year, up to and including something that is brewing in the plans I don't want to release or announce yet, for what will probably feature a little bit on the main channel if it comes into fruition, but I don't want to talk about it. But the other thing that soon will be released ahead of what I just mentioned, the Peculiar Encounters Hunt or Hunted, soon, getting really close to that, where there will be a trailer promo put together for it, and it'll be nice to have some fresh content on the Peculiar Encounter side of things on the main channel. And trust me, I think you'll like it. It's like I said, a combination of Urbex, urban exploring, abandoned places, meets horror games, meets ghost hunting. Just kind of all into one thing. So character based, so we aren't playing ourselves, but it's kind of a nice little different take on exploring and having adventures. So it's kind of cool. Speaking of, there he is. I think I see him in the chat.
Yep, Zachy boy.
Zach showing up here, saying hello. I'm listening and happy Sasha's helping us out. Hoping to get used to evidence review next year as things finish. I can work around times a bit if nearby. We probably need all three of us to help. Well, my goal is to not get multiple cases deep. Even if we get 2 or 3 deep, that is too much. Then you have evidence stacked and you're just constantly doing nothing but evidence review. So to keep up with it before you allow it to get out of hand is always a good thing.
Which is another reason I've been helping.
Mm-hmm. So, and like you said, I don't know how much of that you caught, but yeah, she went through a crash course training session, not as in depth as like probably what you went through. I know for sure, not as in depth, but just enough to. Because honestly, it's, your set of eyes and you just need to know what to look for. It's not a whole lot of skill based, but you do get better with that skill as you continue and you keep using it. Because I personally think visual stuff like photos and video, it's important to have that keen sense. But I would say the audio is more of an acquired taste. Audio, if you're listening for EVPs or different frequencies, different levels, and so amongst the background noise, some of it can be very like a whisper sound, and you have to rewind it. You just, as long as you can train yourself to catch that stuff, and our team is trained to announce when it's something that they're doing, like if Sadana lets out some kind of a sigh as she's getting up or something like that, and then she'll be like, oh, that was me for audio. We're all pretty relatively good about doing that. Now it's the things that are clearly like, you hear us talking, we're talking normal sound voices levels. We don't whisper, obviously, because it makes it harder for evidence analysts to distinguish which is which. And you might, amongst our talking, like Mary and I are having a conversation, for example. It's like, hey, how are you doing? Oh, yeah, we're doing good. I thought I felt a cold spot over here. And then underneath that, you hear, whoops, whoops. Oh, yeah, I'm doing good. And you don't hear us responding to it. That's an area of interest. We might want to double check.
Yeah, and that's why anything like that, I came across one main one like that where I marked it down because it was you, Mary, and Crystal talking. And I don't know if one of them had whispered for a second before going into normal speak, but I marked it down just in case, and I'm like, could be this. I'm not sure. And then there was another time I thought it was your voice, but I wasn't sure, so I just marked it down for just to have a double check kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's been interesting to say the least. Today I wasn't as awake for it, even though this was the part that I've been waiting to analyze. Mm-hmm. It really sucked that I've been as tired today as I have been. Plus
tired most of the day. She had an energy drink finally tonight, but
I'm blaming the weather. That is just where I'm at with it right now. I'm just the weather is exhausting, so it makes me exhausted. But yeah, dealing with that, trying to get back to work. So I had to make a phone call to my boss, a phone call to our flagship manager, who is calling our big boss to see if they can help out because of my car not working still. The guy who was supposed to fix my car, I actually finally saw him today when I was going to Dollar General for my NOS. I've been trying to get a hold of him for the past 2 weeks, and I happened to see him doing somebody else's yard, and so I stopped by, and I'm like, hey, so are you going to be able to get to my car? He goes, no, I'm too busy. I'm like,
there it is.
You could have sent me a text to at least let me know, hey, I'm too busy. You might want to find somebody else. But, shit happens. It is what it is. I've got a couple other, what's that phrase? Pokers in the fire or something along those lines.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, I didn't put all my eggs in that one basket. There's a metaphor.
Eggs in the basket, yeah.
But yeah, I've got, he told me about a guy that's a couple blocks down from us that might be able to help as well. And then my work gave me a couple of options as well. They're not able to help me rent a car. And now saying they can't do a hotel thing either, which I call bullshit on. But hey, I don't run the place. And I'm pretty sure my boss is going to find a way for me to come back one way or another because he's pretty gung-ho for it. Because our store needs my help, apparently. So, yeah, besides that, it's been a pretty mellow, laid-back, kind of funky week. I seriously think it is just the weather, but hey, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, back to you now.
So, Lupita, I think I saw you. Hello there. Zach says, I like to watch more past cases too. It will help. Just need to get my roadblocks out of the way. Audio is a specialty when autism and have sensitive ears. Yeah. Anytime I guess you have downtime, if you want to do some homework, you're welcome to watch, start with season, chapter 1 and go from there.
If I can do it, you can too.
Yeah, there you go. Watch that while you're away and have a little bit of that. Keep fresh on what we do. So, I was looking up something here.
Definition of sanity? I mean, we've lost that a long time ago.
Yeah, there's that. I thought I did because we're kind of focused on a little bit of spook stuff and did a little bit gradually kind of getting into more of that paranormal type stuff as we get closer to Gothmas. And as a reminder, Gothmas is a thing we do here separate from normal like Christmas and stuff like that. But it's kind of Halloween times 2. We have a couple Christmas trees
because we already keep
Gothmas
the house
trees.
itself times 2.
Yeah, Gothmas trees, I might say. A few other things that we do. So we don't have all the decor out at once all year round. We have to have it some kind of special. So generally October 1st is when that starts. And it goes through into December. Sometimes, like last year, we kind of lagged behind and it went into January briefly before I took the trees down. But yeah, so fun times. But so Lupita, what's new with you? As I see you lurking. What I was trying to find was I know on our 10-year anniversary, which kind of got overshadowed by COVID because this would have been March of 2020, which our 10-year anniversary was at that time. Of course, we all know what happened that year. So it kind of got overshadowed, but we did a specialty thing here. I thought I did 5 scary moments too, but I did a positive and angelic moment countdown. All this is on my main channel, so you can see this there too.
And whatever reactions when he does press play on this, if you see my reaction seeming way out of sync, it's because my computer is way out of sync. And seeing how I can't hardwire it in, it doesn't help.
Right. Here, just a second. I'll do this. Just a little bit about behind the scenes of our series. This was a special released an anniversary week, 10-year anniversary of March of 2020 when we did that week. Same week that the COVID lockdowns fell down too, so there's that. But just keeping up with life, Lupita says. Okay. So I don't know if I'll watch this whole thing. It's about 16 minutes, but I'll show you a little bit.
go. Look, it says stop.
We don't have a huge production company following us around. Our motivation and mission for doing this self-titled series is to educate on the reality of the paranormal field. There's no flair, no actors, we don't have screenwriters, none of that stuff.
I'm really, really grateful to all of the people that we've had that have been production assistants for us. You know, that's in the 3 years that I've been here.
See what I just say,
one of
production
the spots
assistants.
I think that frequently has a turnover. A lot of people want to come experience what it is that we do. And they're so helpful and beneficial when they're just being able to man the cameras for us so that we as team members are not having to focus on that.
I am so excited to actually have more of a production team. It is not impossible, but you get a lot of feet and hands on camera when you're trying
See, I just heard
to
about the production assistants.
hone in
program.
on what you're seeing and what you're feeling and run a camera at the same time.
Focus you. Action.
Chapter 5 is the first time I've that worked behind the scenes on production. I learned that I work best with the baby here as opposed to some of the older cameras that are a little more difficult to operate.
Hi, so my name is Jocelyn, and I help with running the B camera for Paranormal Endeavors and Klein Studios.
Paranormal Endeavors 10-year anniversary. I started helping out this past year in production. I'm really enjoying it. I like helping people.
Go. I can't take you seriously.
Yeah, it's hard. Not even for me. Like, all right.
Here, maybe this will add to it a little bit. Let me put this on.
Now that's professional. Badass.
Looks good. Rolling.
Yeah, I'm talking to you. Any year, go ahead and start taking this.
And I got a white balance and everything. What do we got here? So we do white balance in
We have our fun times, of course. Fogging up.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it doesn't help
Take
that
a
I'm
soft play
delayed,
here.
so you guys are hearing me laugh like
Yeah.
a good 30 seconds after.
No different than when we're watching YouTube and it's a news story and she laughs because she's.
Uh,
It sounds ill-timed, but she's watching her phone or something.
I'm walking.
I really liked meeting the team. They're all great. Have helped me along the way.
You know you love
So
it.
I'm really excited to actually be able to focus on what I'm there for. And production is definitely part of your job as an Endeavors crew member, but also as a paranormal investigator in general. So it's like you can't have one without the other.
We're still going to be around. A documentary series. I'm glad to have announced last year that we were going to move to YouTube, which is where the episodes have been, to allow more access, free access, to see them.
If we've got a structure specifically for them to handle that, where everyone's got their jobs to do, we can all be better at our jobs.
2020, we've had some new production people coming in, and that makes it so much better for all of us. A lot of us aren't concentrating on the camera, especially when we're dealing with our gifts and trying to read the room. We get lost in the moment.
I've also helped with a little bit on Diviner 2 and, you know, running the booths at various events. Well, manning the booths at various events. I personally prefer to stay behind the camera more often, mostly because it helps me build my own personal skills, learning how to, you know, man the cameras and work them. They, I guess, sort of teach me, you know, how to work them, how to use them.
You want to just stop it for a minute, or?
We'll just
Okay.
B footage, you know.
sure it's all good.
Shot of you driving into the driveway?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll back up.
I do enjoy being behind the camera and watching the process and helping these guys get done what they need to get done during a case.
And I don't know, I guess I find that fun.
So having somebody there that is focused on sound, having somebody there that is focused on the pictures, having somebody there that's focused on the camera, that is a fantastic blessing to us. So a big kudos to the productions people and the production assistants.
So thank you to all of you who have helped us along the lines, and can't wait to see who else wants to come and participate and maybe see what this is about. Help us man some cameras so that we, can capture and document what it is that we're trying to do as a team.
You'll see it 30
Or
seconds
learn
behind.
how the behind the scenes stuff takes place before you
now
guys
I'm
get to see what you get to see on the other side. Helping, sit there and go over evidence with them too, and kind of learning some of that stuff. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not just
She just heard
what
him.
you see on the screen.
Okay, get the fence line and the wood, and maybe get some more shots of that trail if you want.
What fence line over?
China. Put that in your mouth, bud. That's
He's running off at the bottle.
out of here. He's like, she caught me. I'm out of here. What's up?
What'd you find? A kid? Silly goose.
Me?
Yeah,
Hey, I have some mud. You want it?
I'm good. Do it again.
What?
Do it again. Let me get my bag out of there too.
Oh, Alex.
Okay, I did pass film class. Through.
Hey, Jay.
Hey, Jay.
Well. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, that was a lot better. How do you feel about the investigation, Eric?
So long ago.
Well, so far I think it was pretty good. You didn't go running and screaming, so I'm proud of that too. And I think everyone had a personal experience so far, so that's good.
You making Alex read shit.
It's definitely such a fetus emo back then. Jeez.
Yeah.
One, be able to help out where I'm needed to, because I'm still regardless on having a full production crew, in endeavors, we are trained
Your hair is so
that
much
you do
shorter.
everything.
She's had very
If
different
you're
hair
needed here, you go there.
every year.
If you're needed there, you go wherever.
Because this
How
is an
about
expense.
you?
Oh, mine, yeah.
And
Well, Jackie's
before,
too.
up to that point last year,
I'm
buying a
still
DVD
30
really
seconds
was
behind.
the only way. And then we went to Vimeo on demand, so paying per episode was the next way. And then we decided, let's just go free.
Some of the cameras I had used before, others not so much. The professional cameras I'd never used, so it's kind of an interesting learning curve.
Like, what's the best position to be looking at them from, there are sometimes, here and there, I'm still in the process of learning, so, there are obviously a couple of times I wish I could have done better, but that's what learning is for. And so I'm hoping that as time goes on, and especially, throughout the years to come, and as I work more with Klein Studios and Paranormal Endeavors, that I can continue to grow.
Everyone's been really helpful along the way, so it's been a good experience.
Now, go whenever you're ready.
My hair is good. It's not good.
All about the hair.
Yeah. It's gonna be perfect. Alright, thank you. And we're gone.
My white trip pants. I still have those.
Still on this show, but I have no idea who she is.
Gonna come up again. Chris.
That's when Jackie had braces still.
Oh, there's your trick.
Is that focused?
Yep.
So now that you're not behind the camera, how do you feel about being an investigator instead of being stuck behind the camera the whole time?
I like it a lot. I like it a lot more. It feeds my curiosity better. Instead of being an observer, then I become a participant, and I like that. I do like this a lot better, even though, frankly, it's a little more work on this side of the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jackie's hair was
But I
really
like
short
it.
back
Let's
then.
see how good you do tonight. Because so far you're doing pretty good.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I need the only encouragement I can get.
I think our series is something that provides a unique perspective. We try to stay level-headed.
There's a tremendous amount of work put into this that people don't see. I hope that the clients do appreciate what this team does to help them, because there is a lot of work and time and effort put into it.
There you are.
Yeah.
Are you supposed to smile or what?
Yeah, sure, smile.
Okay, I didn't know if you was.
That's better. There we go. I was rolling for that.
Music for Endeavors, it's really grown, and people that follow our series know that Eric does all this himself.
The progression of the music and the stylings that Eric has been working on in the past 3 years while I've been here, watching his transition from electronic-based instruments to orchestra. I know this word, thank you.
Orchestral.
Orchestra.
And the music.
Our music is handmade, and it's something that
All right.
I'm excited
Stop
for because
here.
it's becoming more cinematic. We're using more
Yes,
actual
more cinematic, more actual
instruments.
Instruments. Yes, perfectly said, Jackie. Good job. So, again, that is on the main channel. If you wish to finish that, there's only a few minutes left on it, but I just want to catch up with chat real quick here. So Jay, one of our gaming buddies, is in the chat now. Back from that car meet, but sadly I was told when I got him that my English family are over, so I can only game daytime. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember what was going on. I know there were some times where I don't know if he stayed at your mom's, like he went, because I think it was a couple summers ago or whatever, or sometime where you weren't at your dad's. I knew your computers and everything was at your dad's, but I think I could be thinking of that wrong, but I thought that's what happened before, so I was thinking that's probably where you went, but I couldn't remember. I was gonna say, yeah, if you want to move that back over, it must have, I don't know what happened. Thank you.
I don't know. I just noticed that it was showing all over here, and that I was having to move further this way. So.
Yeah. So bad news is not going to be allowed to games, but well, it's fine. Do what you have to. We'll be back again. You probably have some catching up to do if you're wanting to level up, because we're going to try to get some more levels tonight on the new. We're getting used to it gradually. Their latest hotfix kind of messed up the controller for me, so I'm going to just play it like Demonologist.
He's aware.
So I'm going to do it with the Demonologist, so I'm going to do it with the keyboard, because it's the same setup as Demonologist, so I mean, it wouldn't be much of a learning curve, wouldn't be much of anything. I just do that, and in some ways, a keyboard mouse might be better for it. I just don't think controller was primarily thought of in the development of the game. I could be wrong, but it just comes off that it's more friendly for keyboard and mouse.
It's technically a PC game, so they
That doesn't
probably
matter.
got most players.
Doesn't always matter. I mean, you have
I'm
GTA.
fully aware
Certain
of
car
that.
games, I prefer to do controller.
But some devs are like, well, since it's PC, they're going to use more mouse and keyboard than anything else. But they're also, trying to get it all fixed up to do the console release. So hopefully they'll have it all fixed up by then.
Yeah.
They're running out of time for that.
Kai Levin says video was so cool and informative. Yep, that's one of many on there if you want. Thanks for the eye-opening behind-the-scenes look. Quite interesting. Enjoyed that. You're welcome, Lupita.
Jay, there is gamers out there that don't have headsets and stuff that are able to play it. It's called using the chat box.
Yeah.
So there's always that. Or you could just tell your family that you've decided that you're crazy and you're talking to yourself and not anybody else.
I'll have to rewatch the stream to see that video. Looks good. Yeah, and if you want to watch the video for itself without this setting, go to the main channel, and it's about almost 3 years ago now. It was around the March of 2020 when we did the 10-year anniversary special week, and that was in there. It's a behind the scenes and creation or making of Paranormal Endeavors kind of thing. So, sorry for the spelling. Drunk. Oh, well, there you go. I haven't been to my mom's from last Christmas. I wish I could play. If only I could play and not talk. But that wouldn't work. Yeah, the game.
Again, like I said, there's a chat box. Drunk or not, we'll help you through it. Just do what they do for snipers. Do some clicks or something on the thing for yeses and nos.
So, is the team still together? Well, yeah. I mean, why wouldn't it be?
Yes, Lupita. I went this past weekend to help with one of the cases. I was production. That's why he was saying, Sedana was talking about me when she was talking about future production.
That's why I was talking about paranormal stuff. We'll be talking about paranormal stuff and some of the cases and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, Paranormal Endeavors is still together last I knew. See, I haven't even met my English family. Well, did at 11. I don't remember, so it'd be awkward if I woke them up. There you go.
It is what it is, and it's them getting to know the real you, because that's you're a gamer. That's what you do.
Right.
Don't pretend to be who you're not for this family you don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna say fuck what they have to say anyways.
Right. You remember? It's just great. I was just wondering if all the members were still involved. Oh, did your question mean to say that everyone that was in that video is still on the team? No, that's over 13 years, well, at the time, 10 years of stuff, and people always come and go. But we have an active roster that's always averaged about 8 to 10 people. I like to keep it kind of a small team. Don't need too much more than that. And then our production people on top of it. So
I think Jackie and Mary are the seniority
longest
members.
I'm, of course, the original, and Jackie joined in Chapter 1. So Jackie and I are the only. That's why she's senior field researcher. She's the longest running next to me, and then Mary joined in Chapter 3. So that's our senior people. Been with us all that time, and people come and go with time, but they stick around for a little while.
I mean, I'm not officially on the team in any way, shape, or form. I'm just helping out as needed, so that they can all focus on what they need to get done.
Because it's too much. I can't do evidence all on my own. We have the Peculiar Encounters, Hunted stuff that's coming out soon.
We did that right before this case.
Yeah.
So
and then I'm going to be having Paranormal Endeavors evidence and more scoring for music I have to do for that series, which is the biggest series on my channel, main channel. And then not to mention there's still a few odds and ends I have to still upload stuff for this channel, Society of Alternative Dimwits, including, I think, 3 vlogs in the pipeline that Zach has for us. So.
Which one I have to give to you, the other one I still have to fix. Sorry, Zach, I have not fixed the Stranger Things one yet. I'll get to it. I just need to flip those 2. I know.
Mm-hmm. So, let me see. This is how awkward I am. I walked in, seen them all, and walked upstairs, then called my mate to take me to a car meet. Needed out of the house. I'm not a people person. Well, we know that. We're not a people person either. That's why, obviously, I spend time talking to the dead. So I don't have to deal, because they rarely argue back as much. But I was told they were staying at mine, so I was told no gaming. So now I have 11 people at mine now. How fun. I'm sure some might come back, says Lupita. They seem to be having a blast. Yeah. Well, different things come up. I mean, they're having a blast in that time stuff, but you do get too old to do this. Some people do, for some reason.
Some people just get burned out on it, or
people
things
get burned
come up
out
in their lives where they just don't have the time, which it seems like that's what
Ross had
a lot of those exit interviews were saying, is that they just, in this time in their life, they're too busy to.
Ross had had a kid with who he was with. This was Chapter 4, I think, going back. And the family became more of the focus. and the long nights and hours and awkward, timing that we do our cases, and it just wasn't jiving up, and he needed to focus more on mommy and new child. So things like that. So those kinds of instances you wouldn't expect them to come back. But we've had a few throughout all the chapters that they've, returned. I know Carrie had taken leave for a while because of heart complications. She took a leave, as we call it. No longer was an active roster. That was about for a year and a half, and then she came back, and she's still on our team right now. Yeah, so I mean, things come up for various different reasons. If I get to New England, maybe 1 to 3 more vlogs, question mark. You ready to do more of his piecing together?
All right, Zach. After the conversation we had earlier today about how you were feeling with certain things, I know you want to do your vlogging and stuff, but that is not your priority right now. Make sure that you're not putting yourself behind because you want to do more vlogs and stuff for the channel.
Focus.
What?
Oh, I was saying stay focused.
Yes, focus. Because I will pull the mom card.
Anyway, so
I may not be mom of the mansion or anything.
Good night, Jay.
In any way, shape, or form. Night, Jay. But I will pull that mom card with you to help try and keep you focused on your goals.
I just want to catch him before he dips out, because he always dips out fast.
Yeah.
So I know you were talking, but I was like, goodbye, Jay. Okay. Speaking of dipping out, I don't know. We had a lot more viewers today. Not everyone's probably talking. I don't know if your CJ is in the chat.
CJ, he saved the thing
It's
in the
a friend of
chat.
hers, so.
Yeah, let me.
Because there's right now, excluding Jay now, because I'm assuming he's left us. We have about 3 additional viewers that aren't saying anything. So
CJ, say hi if you're watching, because I just sent you a snap thing too.
so, but we average about 6 to 7 viewers at any given time tonight. So we had more, which is good.
Well, I know one of them's gonna be me because that's how I keep
Yeah.
track of it.
And I know Zach, and I know Lupita's in there. So, but yeah, and sometimes I know when it was Facebook, when we used to do this on there, the follower count was always inaccurate because it seems like maybe those who only followed but weren't your friend on there, it seemed like it shortballed your
friend,
viewers. Yeah.
Then they could not see it. They were unable to watch it in any way, shape, or form.
But I know if viewers are logged into YouTube, they can do the chat. But I'm not sure if it shows the viewer count on there, if it's just somebody clicking the link and didn't log into their YouTube. It might on YouTube.
It could.
It might show, so that could be it. So if people just watching and didn't log into their YouTube or don't have a YouTube, so it's just going to show the numbers, but they're not able to communicate. So could be. I'm letting fate decide week by week. Well, you definitely.
No, Zach. No. Because, okay, Zach, before I do this, is it okay if I kind of put in a little bit of the update on what you told us today? I want to make sure you're okay with that before I do.
Let's see. I'm gonna wait to make sure because that could be delayed. But you said yes, trying not to be a pumpkin.
I don't know if
squirrel.
he's saying yes to.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
Want to
Zach.
be delayed, so I don't know.
Say yes, I give you permission if you're okay with it.
Sometimes he could just be being silly and just trolling you a little bit. It could be.
Yeah.
Giving you a hard time so you can say he's grounded. Some days I think he likes to be grounded.
There's another backstory to why he likes that part. I'm pretty sure.
Speaking of
anyways.
pumpkin spice, yeah, I can't wait to get to that next.
More for both of you.
They have the pumpkin spice stuff starting to come out. And I went to a local Hy-Vee kind of in our area, bigger one.
Kind of in
that
our area,
is
an hour and a
having
half away.
that is having the pumpkin spice moonshine back. Like they had the tag out for it, but they were saying we might have been there a week early. So the next time, luckily, we'll be going to this very place on Monday, and
And I'll have more money.
hoping that they'll have it out, because last 2 years they didn't have it locally. You could still get it from the distributor's website, the old, what's it called, Old Smoky or whatever the name of the moonshine maker, but they didn't have it at like the Walmarts, Hy-Vees, the places that in 2020 they did. And so this year it sounds like they might be maybe bringing it back, so that's good. So I can buy it locally and not have to pay the shipping or whatever the hell for going to do it.
Okay, he answered, so
I saw
I'm
that.
jumping on this bandwagon real quick. Okay, Zach, you just got through telling us about how you're thinking you're going to have to extend your trip even longer than what you were expecting to because of financial not making enough, especially when you're here. If you go on these, you're taking more time off than what you have already planned, and you've already been stressing yourself out enough. Don't do it. Pick one that you want to go to, and I don't mean one of each. One that you want to go do. Maybe a bigger one. But do it that way rather than trying to get all these ones in that you're wanting to go to right now, this very moment, because they sound like a lot of fun. Your financial stuff needs to come first so that you're not overstressing yourself, putting too much financial burden on yourself, and then later regretting being able to go to those because that money that you used to travel there or the money you could have made that day was spent there versus actually out making that money. And then that money you could have made could have gone towards whatever bills and stuff that you have. This is why even though Sum 41 is this weekend, we're having to put it off and say no to it because I can't actually afford to go. Because my car needs to come first. My daughter's birthday's next week, and I don't know if I'm getting my short term extended out or going back to work or what's going on with that. I had to make those financial decisions even though they suck. Adulting sucks monkey balls. So, that is my rant, and I'm done.
You sure? Got it?
Yes. Because the rest of my rants are just all over the place. I might just actually record myself going off on just like a tangent just to see how many
It's
views
a
I can
vlog
get.
idea for you. You haven't done a vlog yourself, miss.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I do owe my daughter next week, since I'm not going to be able to go to her to see her and stuff for her birthday and stuff. I will at the very least need to do a recording something specifically for her.
Mhm.
So.
We lost a few viewers in the last couple minutes, but that's okay. But so, yeah, as she had mentioned on there, that was iffy about being maybe our next major concert vlog for the channel was Sum 41's farewell tour. But just one of those things, like she just said. So not gonna be able to make it, but probably catch footage of others who did, and we'll watch it the day, next few days, and see what we would have gone to. Yes, exactly. So, oh well. In October, Black Veil Brides is coming back in the area, so there's always something maybe to do, but we'll see. And that's closer and much more affordable.
Yes, and that one is high on my list of being able to go to.
I've seen them before.
So have I, but I could not appreciate them at that time.
There it is.
Then, like I can now.
Yeah.
There's a long backstory to that I'm not getting into, but yeah, couldn't appreciate it back then.
Yep. So, alrighty. Don't know what more really to talk about here. So that was a little
You
spooky
haven't talked
recap.
about your week, dear.
There's not really too much about it. It was comforting you. That's a big part of this week. She was stressing out, kind of having a bad week. part of it she thought was her necklace, but I think it's just everything else that's piling up. So that's honestly what I think it is. Getting closer to going back to work, but her car doesn't work, so she can't get to work because she doesn't have a car that works.
And not to mention my daughter turns 11 on the 5th, and I can't even go and see her because my car doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's been a lot of things, and so it's been a kind of rougher week.
Yeah. So
Shit
it's
happens.
been more, well, we use Jackie's term, but it's been interesting, more so for her this week. Mine's been, just
His has
just
been
another week.
spent worrying about me.
Yeah, always that. Any more?
What else is new since May 18th?
Missing concert like missing a case. It's adulting is ridiculous. Yeah. I haven't had more. Have you had more visitor stories?
A couple of just seeing them out of the corner of my eye. I had one. The creaking noise I told you about the other day, but besides that, not really. It's been. I think they've been kind-hearted souls in letting me be while I've been processing stuff. Wait, no, there was something on Tuesday, wasn't there? Because I said something about emotional upset of the house because I had my little bit of a meltdown thing. I don't remember what.
Can't remember either what you said it was.
I don't know. We mentioned something about the.
Just another day at the
stirring shit
mansion
up.
for me. So once you're used to this stuff, it's just kind of, you know.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of like a. I've gotten used to it enough where I don't really mention it a whole lot. I think what it was I was in the kitchen and asked if you were coming down the stairs because you were doing your workout. So I asked if you went upstairs at all.
Something
I
maybe.
was,
Something.
Yeah, I was prepping something in the kitchen, and I thought I heard you coming down the steps. So,
CJ, last call. If you're in the chat, say something.
CJ, if you don't say anything, then I'm not sending you anything on.
She's gonna ground you. You're
Messenger.
gonna be grounded.
Well, no, I'm gonna bug the shit out of you
Okay.
for the rest of the night. How about that? Just annoying little shit.
Yeah.
Not really,
I guess
because I got gaming and shit to do.
I was
I
gonna say-
already told him when it's gaming time. Good luck getting a response out of me.
I guess for me, it's my adulting story would be the lawnmowers. We have a new push mower in the agenda soon. Hopefully this weekend I'll come home with a new to us, but be pre-owned or a used one because the other mowers, I mean, it made her quite happy. When she heard it last time, it's kind of puttering. It's about to die. One of its wheels is basically about to be fallen off and come off. So I don't want to use that one, but I will use that old mower as part of our Halloween decor. I'll just make sure the gas and fuel and stuff's out of it. It'll retire it officially, and we'll get a new one here. We are looking at one that's more friendly, won't traumatize her as much. It's one with a grass bag, like a mulch bag on it. I'm also looking at ones that are self-propelled, but that's not a requirement. But I am leaning more towards getting one that's a little bit bigger deck, because I think the one that's out there is a 20-inch mowing deck, and I'm looking at 21, 22. And
You
in
know,
my
that
price
extra
range.
inch or two matters.
So in my price range, looking to get that. So we have that here for the push mowing, and then I'm really hoping to get through at least the rest of the season with a rider mower that we do have. But I talked to Larry, the mower guy, who came out today, nice enough to kind of service it briefly, and let him know that I'll probably be in contact soon to have him maybe haul this one away and see what good deals he has on used ones that he has, and get something that's better. Still going to be used, still going to be, you know, whatever, but it's not going to be brand new. It's not going to be a John Deere, I know that. So, those are pricey.
I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little vindicated when I heard the other one dying. I was like, yeah, you got my foot, but in the end, you're not surviving this one, and I am.
The riding mower can be part of the decor too, when Scarecrow riding it.
But then we have to worry about somebody stealing it, because it may be on its last little limbs, but it still works right now.
There's still some value on it. I want to definitely make sure I try to, maybe if I trade it in, there'll be some value, and Larry will work with me and lower the price on new one, because it's kind of what he does. He's like a flipper, if that makes sense. Kind of takes in mowers, works on them, resells them. He has some inventory and that kind of things. He's a local guy who just services and works on mowers.
Because with the other one that's becoming a Halloween decor, I'm already imagining huge googly eyes with like the frowny face, fucking eyebrows, and some teeth added onto it.
So,
now, mind you, I probably won't be the one putting this shit on, but I can imagine it.
yes, get rid of the killer mower. Maybe Sasha killed it. LMAO. Well, I mean, I don't
It
know what
killed
she
itself.
did.
It attacked me.
I don't know what she did with it when that all went down, but I know it's kind of one of those things where it's like you should have seen the other guy. You know, it's kind of one of those things. So.
Like, seriously, I kicked that thing multiple times that day.
It's probably
So
what it
I don't
was.
know how the hell just this one time it happened to actually push out far enough where it got me. But yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I just know it happened extremely fast. I thought I just broke my foot, and no, I didn't. No.
So. But yeah. So, and she's still every day getting bills here from that. So.
Oh yeah, I got a call from the orthopedic center
Make
today.
my mailbox popular again.
I got a call from the foot doctor today saying that I'm up at $9,000 something just for him. I kind of laughed. I'm like, well, I'm not even back at work yet, so no, I don't want to set up a payment plan right now. Like, you guys are out of your damn mind. You know I've got an appointment on Monday because you're calling to remind me of my appointment.
Yeah.
That's special, but okay.
Well, probably wrap it up here. Final call. Zach, remember, just the takeaway here. Stay on course. And do what
Zach,
you need to.
If you end up going to a bunch of vlogging things, then you're going to make your own vlogging videos, do your own editation and everything else. I agree to one more. Just to help make sure that you're staying your course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I threw this idea out there a little bit there. Only Colton has access. Of course, he's on his hiatus, so he's not even logging into it. But he's the only one that has login information under a administrator role, I think is what it is, or a channel manager, I think is what it is. And I'm the owner, of course, so I have like all the rights over the channel and stuff. I did think about that idea, especially if a rate of where you're doing bigger ones too. And multiple of them, of maybe giving you access, like the password to log on to the society channel, which just give you access to be able to upload, create your thumbnail, that kind of thing, and then sign off. I don't think it will allow you to create playlists or delete videos or anything like that. But I did think about that. Because it sounds like you do have something on your phone that you can edit the video up yourself. You just need a way to upload it. And if that's the case, we could talk more later about that off air. But that is something to think about. It's an emo mower now, he says. So. All right, well, I think we'll wrap things up here and switch gears over to Twitch and see what we can do over there. Into the night, you creatures. Until next time. Muahaha, says Lupita. So. And like I said, as we get closer to Gothmas, which officially should kick off October 1st, we'll do a little bit more, if there's interest, do a little bit more on the like paranormal stuff. We'll do those segments, and then maybe Gothmas will be entire podcasts so dedicated to the spookiness and stuff. And we'll see. And maybe we'll do field trip stuff too, where it's not officially like this in the studio as we call it, but do remotes from somewhere else. Who knows? Who knows? All right, everyone. So with that, I think we'll go ahead and wrap this up. So tune in again next week as planned. And like I said, I always say if there's any time where it's not going to be on a scheduled Friday night, we'll let you know if it's either postponed or canceled. We haven't had to do that very much, but in case it comes up, just a reminder of that. But so go ahead, if you haven't liked and subscribed to this channel, go ahead and do that. You get notifications when the streams, when we go live, and all that stuff. So. All right, anything else you have, Sash?
No.
Nope. You good? All right.
All right. Bye.
All right. Peace, rock on, and goodbye.